What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. We have a ton to get to in today's Market Watch, between meta prices falling from Banlist fears, which are super interesting, then also reprint announcements and reprint fears on top of that. Then you have Lightning Overdrive Day 0 buyouts. Today was the sneak peek, or premiere event as Konami now likes to call it. If you top a premiere event, do you have a premiere top just like me? All jokes aside though on terminology, people went to those events, they didn't get the cards they wanted, they came home, they might have panic bought or just hit enter on that shopping cart, but we did see other buyouts last night that were super sus heading into today, maybe to make vendors some money on this entire week. We'll break that down and talk about it. And then finally, I feel like you guys are doing this just to spite me at this point. My eternal rival here on Market Watch, Chamber Dragon, made $1,000. Well, actually 999.69, not so freaking nice. The best thing to come out of this is a meme that somebody posted on my Twitter. Getting laid, small brain. Getting paid, galactic brain. Dragon made, ascended. Yes, truly you have ascended if you listen to me when I begrudgingly did say that I would invest, not a financial advisor channel though, that I would invest at $240 when the secrets hit $70, and I begrudgingly said yes, this is a good buy. But then it just sat there for 2 weeks. Then it started to go towards 300, 400. Now, if you listed one at 750, would it really sell though? That's why people are slowly undercutting each other and doing the memes. And I don't think they really want to just make a sale, but they do hope you get desperate and jump at these prices. Starlights have been being bought out in general though. That's something to pay attention to, as that market was super cold for like 3 to 4 months, and suddenly money started churning back into it as the vintage market inflated and boomed, and it's not as easy to get in on things like that or buyouts or even find the cards. Now Starlights are suddenly there and people have put a lot of money back into that, so do be aware of that. We have a sponsor for this weekend and weekend only, the Team Samurai X1 shop. You can use code What's Good 5 for 5% off. And whatever you think about Sam, I really love the artist he works with, like Kraus. His arts are amazing and I really like a lot of these mats. And then you do also see the epic Slifer and Obelisk versus Exodia, the dinosaur playmat. He works with amazing artists and has slashed a lot of his prices for a store closing sale. You will not see these designs again after this weekend. Codes What's Good 5 for 5% off, and to support the channel directly, he won't be selling them anymore. And he also has metal field centers up. I really actually like his Dark Law as well as Honest Neos. The backs are cool. These are metal field centers for just $20, and then a discount code that supports my channel as well as him. Amanda LaPalme also has metal dice up for the Magician Girls, as well as a triple field center set that looks amazing. Code What's Good 5 also off over here to support the channel directly, and amazing art from these people in the community. Now let's talk about those meta prices. Forbidden Droplet obviously had a reprint announcement, but there's a ton of speculation on if it will or won't be in the Megatons. Let's speculate that it misses the Megatons, and then even if it got ultra'd in Battles of Legend, it's probably a short print ultra in about 9 boxes per case. That's 9 out of every 12 boxes. That would still be a pretty substantial reprint, but leave the secret a lot of term as the mid-rarity as the ultimate rare comes out. Now, if it is in the Megaton, it's printed in the ground, you're going to see this crash probably down towards 30, then start to rebound for its first edition original like Imperm and Ash Blossom does, but that ultimate is going to loom above as a max rarity almost no matter what. It'll be truly interesting to see how this takes shape, and people are now selling this for $100, pretty much almost even, and really hoping to get that $100 bill. You can see market price is $115 and this was $125 before, so not the biggest fall. That's like a 20% fall, but still very notable as we're heading towards a remote dual YCS and people having to pick up cards and play for that if they want to play for what is announced as super unique pricing. I really look forward to what Konami's doing there. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon's down towards $65 from $80 not too long ago, and it has been slipping over time. I've watched it go down to 75, 70, and now this is really substantial versus 80. Banlist actually helped this spike from 40 to 80, if you'll recall, and then it went to 90, 80, 85, 80, and now it's just slowly trickled down because people are truly fearing the Banlist, and you only typically play one of these, sometimes two depending on your deck, but mostly one in the meta / rogue decks, because you're just playing an engine to get it on out. Unless you're playing that super odd setup, my board, I'm not FTKing you, but put 3 Red Eyes Dark Dragoons and an Exterio with Cyberstein out with an Appaloosa for 4 because my name's Maz on the live streams. All jokes aside though, really with this, if the ban list completely dodges it, I wouldn't be surprised seeing another spike, as it is still seeing super heavy play, and people are running away because the OCG hit this at one point. Personally, I think Konami will cash back in on this before banning it, but you're talking speculation whenever you're talking anything banlist, so keep that in mind. It could get hit, it could not get hit, Konami could reprint it secretly rare in this year's Megatons, give it an upgrade, they could put it collector rare in Kingsport. Anything could really happen with this where Konami cashes in before they put them all out of the meta, or they could just drop the hammer because they're done selling 2020 Megatons at this point. Chamber Dragon Maid Secret Rare is actually down in price. Aha! Finally we got him, but $60 is still really freaking high, and I just wanted to bring it back up that, well, this is actually a mid-to-max rarity if it does get printed Ultra in the Megatons, but I think only Pot of Extravagance got that Prismatic Secret from Secret upgrade. Usually they give a completely different rarity, and I would think she would be rarity downgraded, but we'll wait and see what Konami is doing with this in the Megatons if it does appear. People trying to speculate on things missing the Megatons, almost the kitchen sink gets thrown in there, and if something misses, it's usually in a set pretty soon after, so I don't really like doing that speculation with top-end cards typically. Nadir Servant is down in price towards 70. Yes, that's unfortunately down. These were bubbling towards 90 at one point, but really interesting to see these engines down in price as we do have one of the biggest online events headed towards us, and we have seen other meta prices bubbling and spiking this week alone. So a lot of other prices down as people either sleep on the deck or they're not going for this. This was too much, and sellers having to come down in price is freaking awesome. Lightning Overdrive has some early buyouts here. The Trap Tricks Ultra bought out from $7 to $25 has me most interested because I called this being the top Ultra. Even with all the other Ultras going down, it was the top Ultra. Book of Lunar Eclipse bought out. You can see market price 13. Now the listings are towards 24, as this was even all the way down towards $12 before. Dark Honest was down to 13. People trying to bump this back up above 20. And then you have Drytron Beta Fafnir at 40 when it dropped to 30 yesterday. And Diviner of Herald at $94 when it was a low at 68. You should have done 69 nice, but $68 I saw YBM had 6 of them, PPG had 6 of them, those disappeared, and then people spiked this last night, not today. So a lot of people going into today trying to make extra money at locals or sales, and through this week, remember, while it's appearing on some Walmart shelves early where it shouldn't be, there's not going to be a ton of copies hitting the market just from a sneak peek / premiere event. You are going to see the mass release of this come this Friday, and OTS stores as well a bit before that, and then we'll see the true copies hit the market that following Monday or Tuesday, because a lot of shops, they do close up or go to events. Well, not too many events right now, obviously, but they tend to close up shop Saturday, Sunday, and get back to the grind Monday, Tuesday, and a ton of listings should be hitting around there for opening weekend, and we might see more revolving buyouts. Maybe some of these prices trying to stick, but the competition certainly will ramp up then. What's interesting to me is actually Tier 0. We did see Diviner sell out early. We saw Mu Beta sell out early, just a bit above that price. We saw Book of Lunar Eclipse sell out last night. That was interesting. But you don't see things like necessarily the Dark Honest selling out, or even the Trap Tricks Ultra is still available at just $7 with code What'sGood5 for 5% off at good quantity. So this does seem like a little bit of focusing on TCG Player, that market, what Yu-Gi tubers might feature and not look around at. Like I did say also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily should have pre-sales up at some point today. Not quite yet, but it should be within the next hour from this video going up. Hopefully they're pricing deck cores. They're having trouble pricing Starlights, understandably, because nobody's really stepped up. The one on Tier 0, those are actually placeholders. These are not sales, so be aware of that. It's not as if those Thanos snapped off the market, so I really don't envy them being the first one to price them out, but from talking to them, they have a very level head and might even put some under what I personally would be pricing at as well. Legendary Duelist Season 2 is up in price for the sealed, and that's interesting because Tier 0, if you are checking out over there, has sealed displays, but the displays are completely different than ours. Where you have Mai and Kaiba on the packaging, this relies on them being on the pack for the art, and the dice is on display, giving a completely different feel for the EU card. So you do have the EU sealed still readily available if you like the set, the cards inside, and you think even EU sealed will follow, but I do think the dice point is interesting, as the KC dice are actually still worth a good chunk of change, $22 in holding with very few people around there, and it does go up somewhat quickly. So really interesting point. But if you're getting a sealed display, obviously those dice aren't getting tampered with. You're gonna get them completely random. And then if you go with entire, cases, you're on a crazy level. Sorry, this is the case. This is the display. That being said, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. I try to keep this as timely as possible and just burn through all these cards going up and down, up and down. There are other ups I think I actually didn't cover recently here as well. Let me go to Eternity Codes. I know that Access Code Talker, interesting enough, is holding around 100. It keeps bouncing between 105 and 95, but Gravedigger Trap Hole is also up due to the Trap Tricks archetype. That Trap Tricks support has caused more buyouts than anything in recent history I can remember. Bortle here really proved this deck could perform and was underestimated at one point, and I think a lot of people will be on and after this deck. And then you also see Animador Archosaur creeping back up towards 70, even with them coming. So, like the Megatons, the reprints most likely coming. It's really odd to see meta prices decline, meta prices go down, other rogue and meta prices shooting up right now as people prepare for remote duels and live events. It's not just as, oh yeah, John, the prices are down because nobody cares about remote duels. Add your Denko Seka to hand. I get it. I get that not everybody's in for remote duels. You prefer luxury tournaments or online tournaments like that structure. But with physical cards, they are moving. People are playing not only at IRL locals where available, but also at remote duels and online events. And I think that YCS will actually be a pretty big driving factor in the market in just a couple of weeks, especially if that prize does turn out anything close to like what they're giving out for the Kaiba Cup. Those unique Dark Magicians, I would maybe even make a remote duel setup myself, I think. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this conversation. And what do you want to see from that remote duel YCS? How do you feel about those meta and banlist / reprint fears? And what do you think of the Lightning Overdrive early movement especially? Something's just, I don't think it's unique panicking, random people going after it. I think these are a lot of targeted buyouts, and that's not getting too lost in the sauce. I really do think people went after this to try to make extra money throughout this entire week. So be careful buying out there.